My parents missed my MIT graduation for my sister's ballet recital. I blocked them. At my cousin's wedding, they finally saw my success and regret. I sat in my cap and gown, surrounded by 2,000 graduates and 2 empty seats. My parents had promised they'd be there. 4 years of engineering, 3 internships, a thesis my advisor called one of the best he'd ever read. This was supposed to be the biggest day of my life. Then my mom texted 40 minutes before the ceremony. "Sweetheart, your sister Gianna got moved to the lead in her recital tonight. We can't miss it. You understand, right? We'll celebrate next weekend." I stared at the message until the screen blurred. My roommate's entire family flew in from the Philippines. His grandmother was in a wheelchair, and they still made it. My parents lived 3 hours away and chose a ballet recital over watching their son graduate from MIT. I walked across that stage alone, shook the dean's hand, and when they read my name with honors, the only people cheering were my roommate's family because they'd basically adopted me for the day. That night, I blocked both my parents' numbers. I blocked Gianna too, not because I blamed her. She was 15 and didn't choose this, but every time I saw her name, I thought about those 2 empty seats and something in my chest would tighten. My mom emailed the next day. "Why aren't you answering?" Gianna cried when she found out you blocked her. My dad's email was worse. "You're being selfish. Your sister needed us. You're a grown adult. Act like one." I didn't respond to either of them. I moved to San Francisco for my job at a robotics startup and built a life without them. 2 years of complete silence. Holidays alone, birthdays alone, every achievement celebrated with friends who actually showed up. My aunt kept me updated occasionally. "Your parents miss you. Gianna asks about you every week. Your mom cries about it." I felt guilty sometimes. Most times I didn't. Then my cousin Ramona announced her wedding. She called begging me to come. "Your parents will be there, but I seated you on opposite sides. You're my favorite cousin and I need you there." I almost said no, but Ramona had driven 6 hours to sit in my MIT audience when my own parents wouldn't drive 3. She'd earned this. What my parents didn't know was that 2 months before the wedding, my company had been acquired by one of the biggest tech firms in the world. My name was in Forbes as the lead engineer whose patents made the acquisition worth billions. I'd also closed on a house and paid for my first car in full cash. I wasn't showing off. I was simply doing well because I'd spent 2 years pouring everything into work instead of grieving parents who didn't deserve my tears. At the reception, I was talking to Ramona's friends when I felt someone staring. My mom was standing 20 feet away, completely frozen. She looked older, more gray hair, thinner face. My dad was beside her with an expression I'd never seen before, like he was looking at a ghost. Gianna was behind them, 18 now, and the second she saw me, she started crying. I turned back to my conversation. 10 minutes later, my mom appeared at my table, her voice barely a whisper. "Can we please talk? I'm at a wedding," I said without looking up. "This isn't the time." My dad came over. "Son, we made a terrible mistake. We know that now. You made a choice," I corrected him calmly. "There's a difference." Gianna pushed past both of them. "I didn't ask them to skip your graduation. I found out after and screamed at them for hours. They told me you wouldn't care because you'd have other graduations." "Other graduations?" I laughed, but nothing was funny. "You graduate from MIT once." My mom reached for my hand, her fingers trembling. "We saw the Forbes article. We had no idea you were doing so well. We're so incredibly proud of you." I pulled my hand away. "You're proud because Forbes told you to be. Where was that pride when I was alone in a cap and gown?" My dad's eyes were red and glassy. "We've spent 2 years regretting it every single day. And I spent 2 years building a life without you. That wasn't easy either." Gianna was sobbing now, barely able to stand. "I quit ballet after you blocked us. I couldn't dance knowing what it cost our family. That one hit me like a truck. My little sister gave up something she loved because of guilt that was never hers to carry." I pulled her into a hug, and she collapsed against me shaking. Over her shoulder, I looked at my parents standing there completely broken. "You can earn this back, but it starts with understanding that you don't get to rank your children, ever." My mom nodded through her tears. "We know. We're so sorry." "Sorry is a start," I said quietly. "But those 2 empty seats, I'll remember them for the rest of my life."